One of the hardest yet most important shots to light is the wide shot. It establishes both the mood of a scene, but can be notoriously difficult to light without breaking the illusion of natural lighting. To help you with this, we'll define the goals of good lighting, give you some tips on how to hide fixtures in any situation, and give you some ideas for good lighting design so that your scenes can look artistic and professional. Before any lighting setup happens, it's always a good idea to know the goal that good lighting should accomplish. A well-lit wide shot should first and foremost match the mood of the story. If you find yourself lighting a scene from a happy part in the story, the background should be well lit without too many shadows. On the other hand, a more dramatic moment in the story looks best when lit with pools of light and darkness. No matter what the emotion of the storyline, it's always good practice to keep your subject at least a half stop brighter than the background elements. This way, you'll be able to direct the audience's eye to the area that's most important. Also, if you'll be filming multiple shot lengths in a single scene, you'll want to make sure that your lights always stay in the same position and at roughly the same intensity from one shot to the next. That's why it's good to check how the lighting looks close up on your subject while placing your fixtures for wide shots. That being said, it's possible to cheat the lighting if you have a big change in camera angle and screen size, but you should do so with caution. Adding small lights to illuminate dark areas of the eyes may be okay, but adding a strong backlight on a subject where there previously wasn't one can break a scene's continuity. By far, the trickiest part of wide shot lighting is finding ways to hide your fixtures. However, there are a few standard tricks that can help you in almost any scene. First, if you'll be filming inside of an office building with a suspended ceiling, you can always remove a tile and place a large fixture between panels or hang a light from a crossbar using a butterfly or scissor clamp. These clamps won't be able to hold large fixtures due to their weight, but should suffice for most lighting. Also, if the office has fluorescent or incandescent lamps, it may be possible to replace them with brighter ones that can light your scene for you. Many companies sell both color-balanced fluorescent tubes and incandescent lamps for this very purpose. If those options aren't available at your location, you may want to think about using objects to hide the source of your lighting. Shelves, couches, plants, cabinets, and desks are all great places to hide lights in a scene. If you plan on doing so, having clamps with baby pins for mounting lights would be a good way to keep the heat from damaging these objects. Of course, if your scene's set in a wide enough setting, you may be able to use very strong lights from above and to the side of your frame. Keep in mind that the wider the scene, the more intense the lights will have to be, which can get quite expensive. If you have the ability to rent a theater, concert stage, or studio in your community, you can simply mount lights to the lighting grid above your set and keep your camera angle flat in order to hide the lack of a ceiling. The lighting grid should help you to place lights right where your subjects will be in the scene without spilling over to the background. Light design is the key to any great wide shot lighting setup. If your lights aren't placed correctly from the start, the rest of your scene will suffer as a result. As such, it's important to know some tricks to light placement for any scene. The first thing you should always do is to determine where your subject's starting and ending point will be. For example, if your subject will be moving down an entire hallway, you may want to think about having them start next to a doorway and end next to a doorway. This way you can create pools of light that they can pass through, while ending the shot with your subject standing in an area that has good lighting. You'll want to avoid lighting a scene like this with one strong light, even if it has a soft quality. Doing so will wash the scene out and make it appear very flat. If you'll be lighting a living or family room scene, you'll want to start by finding areas to highlight and to dim in the room. Objects such as lamps will need to be either turned off or dimmed in order to be exposed properly in the scene. Other objects, like pictures on walls, may need more light in order to see its detail. Either way, using plenty of finely controlled lights will add both dimensionality and emotion to any scene. Setting up lights for wide shots is a necessary challenge, but not one that can't be overcome. With the right equipment, the right planning, and the right attitude, you can design a lighting scheme that's not only invisible, but impressive as well.